So as the waves of reality dictate themselves over us, it's important to know oneself, to know one's position, and to remember, say for instance, God, so that when something goes wrong, it is not your relationship with God that is struck. Rather, your relationship with the world, which is the realm of Satan. God's over there, we're here, we gotta connect ourselves back to God. We gotta create space ourselves to digest God. All these crazy things that one could spend their whole life thinking about and digesting and processing and just keep going up and up and up and up and not finish. And that's the beauty of eternal life. Why else would someone want eternal life other than for the part of why would someone want eternal life unless there was something like new to experience on an internal level all the time? That's, why do evil people want eternal life? So that they can spend the rest of their lives still having the power to abuse people. When, of course, they're going to get bored. You guys are going to get bored soon. Because when consent has already been purchased, and you no longer have something arguing, or, that points out what you could be doing wrong at any given moment, then you're just going to be fooling yourself your whole fucking life. You're going to be fooling yourself, and you're going to get bored, because only real things react as how they feel. Only real things react with how they feel. When you purchase consent, and when you manipulate consent into manifestation, it's just going to be all bad. And so, there's all other things that one can think about. I can always make the moment in any moment. Just, people feel like they're so inadequate. You guys hate yourselves so much that you don't realize that the greatest, thoughts you've ever had, those were all extraordinarily beautiful things. To the point where, what was that meme? It's like, a dog's love is as much as love gets, basically. When a dog, loves you, it shows affection for you and stuff like that. It's like, how much better could it get than that, but it's that small, but also that great. It's like, I'm just gonna spark this. I need my raw John Wick. Raw Johnson Wick. Raw Johnson Wick. There it is. A lot of things going on today. Not societal event-wise, but consciously. A lot of light streaming in, while also a lot of blockages taking place. I wonder if the amount of scum allowed to breathe on this planet changes the capabilities of good people on the planet. I'd say it does. Though not necessarily, of course. One can always be above the crowd. One can always keep talking in the face of adversity, keep speaking their mind, knowing that they are doing what they should be doing. And that's kind of what I was trying to say. Everything that you ever thought about life, you know, movie stars, I want to be like him, just anything. You can be all of it. There is no true dividing line between you and any of it. You are a movie star. You already are a movie star. There just wasn't a camera pointed at you. Because, of course, if you know yourself, you're a movie star. Just without the camera. The veils of idolization. The dualities of idolization. What I believe a duality is a lie believed, so that it corrupts you away from your own power. It's usually just entirely based in naivete and tomfoolhardiness. I don't know. Just don't be a fool either. Naivete and foolishness. So it divides you from the people you idolize. Nothing else actually divides you. And we don't realize shit happens so quickly that we can fall from being part of things to be totally just idolizing this person in a millisecond, in a half a second. And that's just a sign that one hasn't practiced manifesting their power enough so as to believe in it. Believe that it's worthy of anyone's attention, worthy to be heard by anyone. Because, even if you are wrong or mostly wrong, it's part of the discussion for you to speak your mind, because some other people might be thinking the same thing. And if no one says that, they're all just going to be thinking inside their minds, oh, this guy's wrong, la da da, and oh, look at that. And then they're going to be looking at each other and be like, haha, this guy, But it's because no one spoke their mind, and he, and the presenter or whatever, he was just assuming that, half assuming that people were going to be on his side, and the other half being he didn't care if they were on his side or not. And I'm getting too specific. So specific. I guess it's not a bad thing. It's important not to get too microscopic, though. See, because when you dive into the micro, you start justifying being stupid and small. You try to get other people to be small as well. So when you compress reality, you can easily form a conclusion about it. That's so easy, motherfuckers. Not so fast. See, I think the reason Terence McKenna talks slow Not because he is incapable of talking faster, but because when the audience has the time to digest what he's speaking, he gets better feedback. Seems like people are more following better. You know, earning a drink of water while you're on the stage. Don't not only don't mess up, but just keep it going, and then eventually you'll have earned that drink of water. Because you'll eventually land on something that people need 10, 20 seconds to just be like, wait a second, what? And well, that would take a couple years of some hard work, some solo work, potentially, and it's like, I feel like there's a big distinction between between Christians who have gotten into the natural psychedelic and Christians who haven't. I feel like the Christians who haven't are just incredibly neotenized, very childish, very, in a not good way, and like a very immature. They can't handle hardcore music or whatever, like ever, that feels like they're gonna like fall apart or something. They're way too fragile, way too fragile. And if they read some writing on the ground, some writing in chalk on the ground that says something half blasphemous but half assimilated, it's going to make them question their faith. They see a homeless person standing in the way of, well, like near the doorway of their church on Sunday, and be like, shoo, get the heck out of here. We got our Christians coming. That's the motherfucker who didn't ever do natural psychedelics. You see, because he would realize this is a stupid thing to do. You actually understand your God. God doesn't bring homeless people onto your front step of your church for you to shoo them away. You Christians. Certainly not without like $1 in their pocket. See, what are the negative traits of non-psychedelic, non-integrated of the psychedelic Christians? See, they're generally a bunch of perverted weirdos, as in they haven't actually faced down any real side of their darker self, so as to recognize that they might have some weird traits themselves, that they might actually have some weird toxic, like pervertedly toxic traits. The girl finally did whatever. He's like, smiles like a 5-year-old child or whatever. Finally, like, shook a hand, finally touched a girl. Well, that felt pretty good. He goes silent for the next, 20 seconds while he's thinking about it inside his tripped out mind. The thing about tripping out on natural psychedelics, it allows you to learn for the first time ever how to not trip out about everything, how to not take whatever happened in your personal life as a direct insult about your progress, your direction in life. And so, truly, in order for one to know oneself, one must look at oneself from a different perspective. At least in order to start that process. And then ultimately knowing oneself, knowing that one knows what one knows. It'll allow you to truly traverse this world full to the brim of darkness and tests. See, if you don't know yourself, truly know yourself, it's going to be some negative thing that happens. Say, you're finally set up your speakers to play Angels and Airwaves, some Christian music, for God, for the world, for the kingdom of heaven, and then the police come by right before you press play to tell you to leave and trespass you, arrest you. Are you gonna be like, man, I guess God doesn't want me doing this? Or part two, there's 3 parts. Or part 2, was it something I did recently? Part 3, receiving further conviction about how this world needs to change, and further soul, purpose, energy, reason, motivation, soul, force against society. Not the world, not people, society, the system, the machine. We're the ones who built this world. We have the power as the ones, and the right, power and the right to change it to become whatever we want it to be. And so when we have all these government schools teaching us all this government shit, this manipulation shit, this compressed reality to material reductionism shit, this, laugh at the concept notion of God shit. Let's test the world. Test them. Testing, 1, 2. Is any Christians still out there? Let's hunt them down. Don't be a Christian, we'll hunt you down. Don't swear by the Bible or by Jesus, we'll hunt you down and fucking kill you. That is what's going to be starting happening soon. The amount of bullshit I've seen, man. Women, laughing whenever anyone brings up anything to do with the Bible. Anything to do with, like, actual goodness. You just hear the woman fucking laughing because he referenced the Bible. Oh, this again? No. I don't have time for this. Did someone get this guy out of here? And it's like, you guys are the worst. You are a part of this world. You are here to make me friggin' hate trying to help you. You, like, imagine that. Imagine your program, your Agent Smith program, being to make me hate existing on this fucking planet. It'd suck to be you. I'd say it'd suck even worse to be me. Not like your afterlife's gonna be any better than that, but wonder what kind of company you'll have. Just like the Prince of Darkness himself, just fucking making you hate everything about existence, 10,000 layers every single moment. That'd be fun. I think I'd rather be in prison, though. You got a frown that should be a smile, and a smile that should be a frown. Got people who should love themselves on a general as a guest level, but they hate themselves instead. It's not just idolization that leads one to hate oneself. It's being a good person, an actually good person, will have you end up hating yourself. At least at the start, the middle. Because you won't recognize how important it is that one is a good person. You know, it being so rare in this country, it's as if you're not only paying rent to be a good person, but you're paying taxes, you're paying taxes on the taxes, the taxes, the tax, so that you don't even make money to pay, but you eventually somehow scrounge it up to pay. And being a good person, if you actually are a good person, thank you. Thank you. No one else is going to say thank you. Keep going. It's because other people can't see it, can't appreciate it, doesn't mean you shouldn't. Love yourself. Love yourself. Love yourself. You are great. You are magnificent. You are fantastic. I feel great. I feel wonderful. I feel whatever. I feel good. I feel great. I feel wonderful. What about Bob, anyone? Oh, yeah. Freaking What About Bob is one of the movies, one of the few or many movies the whole world needs to watch before it can return to a healthy psychology. What about Bob? Because you guys are a bunch of fucking pansies. You're so fucking stupidly, problematically, painfully, toxically a bunch of pansies. Straight up. Still putting that diaper on your face 3 years later, you fucking little bitch. 3 years later, you're still wearing a fucking diaper on your face? How are you even alive right now? How are you even alive? It's been almost 3 years, that diaper on your face. How are you alive? You're obviously, clearly, completely brain dead. You're obviously a complete fucking lab rat, but you're still alive, you're still kicking. How the fuck is that possible? Because you're ignorantly, innocently innocent. It's your only saving grace. You guys live off silver linings and saving graces. Obviously completely brain dead. Probably have some serious organ failure going on. Probably cut your lifespan off like 50 years, 40 years at this point. And, you call that safety. That's safety, huh? That's safety? Just like hushing lawyers who are suing the government for fascistly mandating that everyone put diapers on their faces within the first month or two of the mandate. Yeah, it's definitely safe to keep those cases on the hush, because otherwise the population might rise up and fucking slaughter your ass. I suppose that is safety. Safety does exist in certain ways. Like, prolonging your expiration date. Supposed to die, somehow got away from it. Shit. God, you're being too merciful. But seriously, the people who actually somewhat remotely even try to seek you and actually remotely care actually about your opinion, your idea on any situation, save those people. Protect those people. But the ones who have spent their lives serving Satan to the utmost intentionally, I don't know. It's always a beautiful thing when someone comes around to embracing God. But I wonder, how many people do they have to steal away from you first in order that equation balances out? How many people must they stomp down first for them themselves, their own upcoming into understanding you? The beauty in that, oh, beautiful. Finally came around at 98 years old after spending my whole life being a fucking pedophile. Well, good luck at the bottom of heaven if you even make it. Anyways. I'll stop the video. I kind of want to keep going. What else? There's gotta be something else. Freedom for all. If you don't want to be foolish and stupid and don't be a hypocrite. How do you not be a hypocrite? Don't judge people for doing the same things that you used to do or will do. Don't be harsh on them for harsh, I don't know, but everything's perspective, everything's relative. Nobody controls the whole world. Any thought that you have inside your mind that everyone's gonna be thinking this, or everyone thinks this way, or whatever, it's all just going on inside your head. And no, you probably don't and weren't talking to God whenever you thought you were. It's generally one's own mind that one discusses with, if not other people's and other friends, the counsel inside your mind that you talk with. When God talks to you, it's probably gonna start like, well, it's gonna be like reverberating throughout the whole world around you. It's not just gonna be inside your ears, inside your mind. Don't confuse yourself that you're having God thoughts, that God's thoughts are inside your mind. His flame is his brightness is unbearable. If you ever get close to it, you're gonna be like, what do I do? What do I do with this? And truthfully, the ego is the main limiter there, the main barrier as to what you actually can do with it. Usually for me, I just end up speaking my mind on a video or just in the streets. Speak my mind, and then it ends up either pushing me almost into a mushroom trip peak And, you know, when I did do that, it was like over a mushroom peak. Fuck it. It was beautiful, and it was just me talking and me having a good time talking. Out loud by myself, but to the world. To the wind, too. Talk to the wind, man. So when you think like that, honestly, I feel like the best way to do something like that is to do it for the birds. So if you're doing it for the birds, you're gonna be doing it elegantly, also, like in a graceful way. But it's almost better to think of it like talking to the wind, because if no one's listening, then you're never gonna be doubting yourself. You're never gonna be like, that was slightly stupid, whatever. And you can laugh it off, but the point is, I lost it. I'll make another video later. It's gonna take like 10 hours to upload this. It's a good thing my phone is literally on fire.